You are the one true thing I adore. And it's more than the promises and blessings that you have in store. Because I don't just love you for the things that you do. And I don't just admire you for the things that you've done. And I don't look for you just because what you will do. But Lord, I'm truly in love with you, for you. I'm grateful not just because you're my Savior, but because you care for me. And I don't just worship you because you're a king and ask of me, but I do so willingly. Because without you, I'm nothing. Without your friendship, forgiveness, and kindness, I would be lost and dead in the streets. And the thought of a different version of me honestly scares me. So I'm thankful that I let you in my lifeboat. I'm so thankful that I let you just row. I'm so thankful that you just take control. Because without you in it, this ship wouldn't survive the winds and the rain. I would have died and drowned in the midst of my pain. I would have rowed to the waterfall and gladly just be lost in my sorrow. I would have hit the rocks and been tossed to the bottom. Now I know that might sound suicidal and not the most pleasant for your eardrum. But without God, I would have never had a living outcome. I would probably be 6 feet deep or buried underneath of agony. I would probably only just care about me. Would have turned to things that haunt me. Would have been caged inside a cell full of rage and would go psycho on anyone that would try to tame. I guess what I'm trying to say is I would have been full of hate. Because before I found God, if you couldn't tell already, I wasn't in the right mental state. My mind was set and stuck in trauma and could care less for anybody that would have come around to help me out and paint a picture for me to pull me out of the heads, out of the clouds. But in these clouds, there was not a single sound or even a sparrow around. Not a single ray or sun was found. These clouds were just full of darkness, and I was caught just floating so hopeless. And as far as I went into the atmosphere, it was so hard to breathe because there was no air up there. Just a hot wind that blew from my head, and being so full of steam, I wanted to burn everything. And a lot of times I did that same thing. I burned bridges, towns, and cities. Any friends or families that would try to revive me. Anybody who tried to reach me. I would bite all the hands that would feed me, and instead eat of things that would kill me. I had no rest because all I did was choose to eat things that I couldn't digest and would eat what my eyes told me looked like candy. I bit off of that Eden tree, and I found myself living so curiously but also so carelessly. I used to only care for women if they acted the same way I saw on a screen. I only cared for those who acted like those in that industry. I never cared for anybody individually. I wouldn't care for anybody because I was full of pride, greed, and envy. And that line is so full of irony. Because not only did I not care for anybody, but I also didn't care about me. I was a narcissist, but so depressed that the thoughts of myself I couldn't digest. So I would regress and play around like a kid at recess, not knowing who to hang out with. And that led me down a road full of depress. And that road I would just like to press and press until I had nothing left. But the beauty out of this wholeness is that, Lord, you love us when we feel like we are filled with nothingness. After all the bridges I burned, you in turn decided to build one for me and to me. You were happy and satisfied to call me to thee. You wanted to spend time and tell me your thoughts for and towards me. You directed me off of the road of depression, and you walked with me out of that valley. You paved the way of victory, and you pulled me out of the clouds and put me on solid ground. You rescued me from the oceans of sorrow before I completely drowned. You see, I adore you because you love me for me, and you showed me everything that you loved about me. And instead of turning a deaf ear, you listened to my times of despair. You saw my broken pieces and said, my son, it's time to repair. You uncaged me and you pulled me out of the devil's lair. That's why I'll follow you till the day I die. Because out of the grave you rise, and you risen me out of that grave. I needed somebody, God, and that's exactly what you gave. So even though the healings, miracles, and blessings are all great, that's not where the love I have for you is gave. That's not why I choose to stay, and that's not why I have my mind made. I have my mind made truly because you are my everything.